No, greetings, everyone. Hope this message finds you doing really well today. I'm really excited to be doing this broadcast. I had a reading this morning with a woman very much related to what we're going to be talking about, and it really just juiced me up. So I really hope I can keep this succinct and make it effective. But this is a really big month. This is a very important month. There's two eclipses that are going to be taking place this month. There's a solar eclipse on October 14th, Saturday, October 14th, that is visible throughout much of the United States. And then there is a lunar eclipse that will be taking place on October 28th, 2 weeks after the solar eclipse. Eclipses always come in pairs. I'm going to do another video for the lunar eclipse, but today I really want to focus on the solar eclipse. And rather than being technical, which I can tend to be because it is important to a degree, I want to be a little bit more artistic today because that's really the energy of this eclipse. It's actually very balanced between the two, technical as well as more beautiful and artistic. And I'll close with a couple of practices for consideration. And if you're interested, I am doing a special offer specifically for this month related to the eclipses, where I'm doing a buy one, get one free for any of the services that I offer: Vedic astrology, Ayurvedic consultations, or Ayurvedic bodywork therapies. So if you want to take advantage of that, it's a great time for it. All right. So with this eclipse, what's going on is it's happening in the constellation of Virgo. Virgo is the constellation. Virgo is an earth sign ruled by the planet Mercury. And it's one of the most systematic out of all the signs. It's so capable and analytical and able to really metabolize information and put it together in an effective way. And this is the energy of Mercury in its strongest form. Very wisdom, very discerning, very intelligent, very keen, very focused too. And Mercury is involved in this eclipse. Mercury is in the strongest position that it can ever be in during the course of a year. It's what we call exaltation. Mercury is exalted in Virgo. So this is very important for this eclipse energy. Strong Mercury. They call Mercury Buddha. Buddha is the name, one who is awakened. And it really is a higher wisdom consciousness. The difficulty with Mercury is it's very distractible. It's very scattered oftentimes. And so to concentrate the energy, to concentrate the mind, concentrate the life force, so essential to really get the benefits of Mercury. We also have a very interesting Mars influence to this eclipse. The eclipse itself is taking place in a constellation known as Chitra. Chitra. This is one of the positions of the moon as it passes through its 27-day orbit. There's 27 what we call nakshatras, and the moon is in Chitra nakshatra. And I posted a description of Chitra nakshatra in the comments of this video that I encourage you to take a look at. But it's like an architect, it's like a builder, it's like a craftsman that's putting something together and that desires to share that. So this is a wonderful time for creativity, for expression, for projects. And it's this really not just like any old thing, like it's a thing of beauty. It's a thing of really charm and awe and wonder. Mars is a very fiery planet and it can be aggressive, it can be overly hot. But this is not the tendency of this nakshatra. And with Mercury in there, it's this beautiful combination of keenness of Mercury with the will of Mars. And so it's a softer Mars energy. It's more tempered, would be a good word for it. And eclipses are very powerful. This is a solar eclipse. The sun represents consciousness. The sun represents one's ego. The sun represents illumination, God. And anytime there's a solar eclipse, it's really about this transcendent kind of an energy. There's just more potential, if you will, for experiencing that deeper part of ourself that's unchanging. It requires some, some solitude, though. It's an inner experience. It's not an outer experience. The inner experience is what produces the outer experience, but the inner experience itself is beyond form. It's beyond the senses, beyond the mind, even. So I really encourage you to do something for this eclipse, to do some sadhana. There's quite a few practices that I'm suggesting for people right now, but it really is about tuning in with that inner sun, that inner light that we all have. That's what Jyotish means, the science of light, the science of the stars, the science of consciousness, tuning in with one's deeper nature. It's such a wonderful time for spiritual practices right now. And it's also a good time for surrender, surrender and devotion. There's really this patience aspect that is connected to both of those things, whether it's an inner journey or an outer journey. And it's a changing of the seasons as well right now. There's a shifting of energies in the season where we're being drawn more inward as we move into the winter time, into the cold, into the darkness. And so again, this eclipse is just a window into the potential that we all have and really how we want to apply it in our lives. So, in closing, what I would really just say for this eclipse is to really ground down. That's so important. Virgo is this earth sign. It's more introverted, typically, and it requires stability, it requires regularity, it requires the body, being not just in the mind, being in the body, doing something with the body. The body is the vehicle, the body is the vessel. And when that is really, stable and solid, then the life force can really flow. So if you want to check it out also, there's a beautiful poem that I'm including in this month's forecast that is from the Japji. Japji is the song of the soul. It's connected to the Sikh religion and the Guru Nanak. It's a beautiful piece of literature, very, very utilized in the Kundalini yoga community, especially. And it's this beautiful stanza from the Japji. It's the very last stanza. It's sort of the end of the whole entire poem, summarizing it. And I'm going to just read it here, and then you can take a look as well in the comments if you like. But it says, "Let self-control be the furnace and patience the goldsmith. Let understanding be the anvil and spiritual wisdom the tools. With the fear of God as the bellows, fan the flames of tapa, the body's inner heat. In the crucible of love, melt the nectar of the name and mint the true coin of the Shabad, the word of God. Such is the karma of those upon whom he cast his glance of grace. O Nanak, the merciful Lord, by his grace uplifts and exalts them." And that to me is the energy of this solar eclipse ring of fire experience that we're really blessed to have. It's a wonderful thing. Eclipses are extraordinary. They always bring extraordinary, for better and for worse. But really, the better or worse depends on our relationship with them, our consciousness, and our life, and how we're living to align with them and the flow of life or not. It's always in service. Life is always in service to the upliftment of consciousness. And, Jupiter is kind of a little bit almost involved in this eclipse, which we get this beautiful uplifting energy of Jupiter. There's some other positive energies that are happening between Saturn and Venus, which are really balancing each other out. So I really like this eclipse. The lunar eclipse at the end of the month, That's a little more questionable to me. That was gonna be I'm gonna prepare a little bit more for that one. There's definitely some concerns I have about that one. But that one has a little bit more of a natural, it's got a healing energy, but it's a little more, I would say, naturally difficult. And eclipses technically are considered, more difficult energies because they destabilize things. They create some instability, usually to the ego or to the psyche. But again, it's for the highest good if we can be open to them. And so, it's not about being rigid. We can't be rigid during the eclipses either. Definitely letting go of rigidity, of constrictedness. But again, getting into this energy of being a goldsmith, of being a crafter, using the spiritual wisdom, the tools, the discipline, the fire of our heat, the crucible of love, and all this grace. I think it's a wonderful eclipse time. Um, and I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. So if you want to learn more, if you want to have a reading and really understand how this eclipse affects the specific areas of your life and how these energies may change just a little bit depending on the area of your life, your rising sign, would love to support you. If you're feeling like you want to do more of like a health tune-up, a house cleaning, maybe a seasonal cleanse, a lifestyle exploration, would love to do an Ayurvedic consultation. If you want a little R&R, a little nourishment, a little self-care, we'd love to do an Ayurvedic body work therapy for you. If there's any way I can support, any questions that you have, please let me know. Again, check out the resources that are connected to this video. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Satnam.